Hey, what's going on YouTube? I made a pretty fun deck today. It is Grinder Golem, Inferno Tempest OTK. It's kind of like an OTK, but so yeah, I'll show you guys the deck list, and then I'll explain it. So 3 Grinder Golem, 3 Deckout, 2 Reaper, 1 Marshmallow, 2 Effect Veiler, 1 Sanguine, 1 Morphing Jar, 3 Inferno Tempest, 3 Upstart Goblin, 1 Card Destruction, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Scapegoat, 1 Sword of Van Light, 1 Giant Trunade, and 1 Lightning Vortex. Traps, 3 Dimensional Prison, 2 Compulsory, 3 Trap Stun, Mirror Force, Torrential, Solemn, and 3 Reckless Greed. Now, a lot of people might not notice how this deck wins at first, but what it does is use these 2 cards. This is all you need. And you special Grinder Golem, and you give yourself the 2 tokens. You have a token attack the Grinder Golem, and you take 3,000, so you play this. What this does is it removes from play all monsters in each player's deck and graveyard. So essentially all your opponent has left is a Grinder Golem on their field, any other monsters they have on the field, and monsters in their hand. They have to use those cards to win the game. And if they don't, like if they don't have any other monsters, you win. Because they'll deck out. They can't deal any damage to you if they don't have any monsters. Unless they're playing Burn. In which case, 3 Trap Stun. But yeah. And since your opponent will deck out before you do, because you're playing such a low monster count. So less cards will get removed by this. And alternatively, you can deal damage with things like the Koichi, if you actually had to. But that really shouldn't happen at all. And once you get this combo off, you just kill the cards they have. You can use Card Destruction to reset their hand, and all they draw into are spells and traps. You can do the same thing with Morphing Jar. You can use Lightning Vortex, Dark Hole, Deep Prisons, Compulse, Mirror Force, Torrential to kill the monsters they have on their field. And alternatively, you can use Spirit Reaper and Marshmallow to just stall them out. Most decks don't have a way to kill these cards just using their monsters. I think really the only deck that can do that is Samurai. And Gadgets could obviously kill this with Smashing Ground. But yeah, it's very hard to kill these cards if you don't draw into any outs. Or you don't have any monsters, essentially. I run the 3 Trap Stun because Book going to 1 means that I'll get Book of Moon less. So I can just go Trap Stun and pretty much get my combo off. Nobody really plays Enemy Controller, and Enemy Controller isn't an extremely good card. So I can be somewhat safe going Trap Stun and then my combo. Compulse, I can use Compulse to put this guy back in my hand so he's not in my opponent's field. Lightning Vortex essentially acts as a Dark Hole. Scapegoat Swords, they stall. Upstart, because I don't care what your life points are, I just deck you out. Reckless, it's obvious. Effect Veiler, this is basically if your opponent managed to get off a Caius, or a Black Rose, or something like that as a last out, you can just Veiler it, and they scoop up. I like the decos, kind of just as a floater, but to draw an extra card, I think that's pretty decent. So yeah, there's my deck. It's not meant to be, an extremely competitive deck, but you could definitely steal a couple games here and there. and this is something I would take to like a locals. You could probably top locals with it. You know, maybe you could even get an invite. You know, at your regionals or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if you could do that. I haven't spent a ton of time on this deck. There might be, you know, a couple changes you want to make if you tested it out. But if I was going to make a side deck for this, I would be using 3 Karakuri Sazank for the 6 Samurai matchup. Just because you need to kill their Xians so you can get this off. And Sazank lets you do that. I would probably be using something along the lines of Zombie World to stop Monarchs. Like some decks you just don't need to side for because they don't matter. Like I don't know. I wouldn't really side much for GB, just because if you get your combo off, that's a game essentially. But yeah, you might want to look into ways to get your combo off faster, things like that. And this is also a pretty budget deck. I mean, I was using warnings, but I didn't like it. I really don't like warnings in this deck. It just, I mean, it's okay, but I'd rather just have like Impulse or Deep Prison most of the time. I thought about using a second Vortex. I just couldn't find the room. So yeah, that is my deck. If you like it, make sure you comment, rate, subscribe. And yeah, if you guys want to request any type of deck, you can send me a deck list or something, and I can fix your guys' decks if you want me to, or I can make a video about a deck or whatever. I'm just looking for video ideas. I know I've been putting up a lot of deck profiles, but that's what I like doing the most. I'll try to get some duels up, but I don't know. I keep forgetting to bring my camera to locals. So yeah, this is my deck, and that's about it. So yeah, peace.